yourself to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Bring your thumb and your first fingers together, palms facing upwards, sitting with a tall spine, level chin. Anchor down through your tailbone and reach to the crown of the head. Let's draw a little stronger through that. So next inhalation, place at the base of your spine, your anchor point to the mat. Inhale, feel the breath travel upwards, wrapping around your spine and your shoulder blade, back of the neck, crown of the head. As you exhale, separate your thumb and first finger and wiggle your fingers around, placing the palms down flat. And then just bring a gentle sway into your spine, rocking and rolling from side to side. You can take this beginning part of the class with your eyes closed, and it brings a little bit more connection to your movement. Keep that movement going, rolling from side to side. Come back to a tall, neutral spine in the center, and you're going to move in a clockwise direction. Rolling forward, rolling backwards. Coming back to the center, and now let's travel in an anti-clockwise direction. Use the placement of your hands to your knees to guide your spine forward and back. Keep the hips level. Coming back to the center, opening our eyes. Let your right hand fall to the side. Lift the left arm in line with the side of the cheek, lengthening out the left side body. Straightening out that right arm and sweep the left arm for the wall behind you, gazing at your center palm, and then bring that palm to your heart center, drawing the chest to the chin, and then opening wide again. Float your left hand to your right knee, the opposite hand sits behind your back. Inhale as we sit tall in our spine, and exhale as we twist. Using the strength in your spine here, float across to the opposite side, derotating our twist. Coming back to the center, lean into your left arm as you sweep the right arm in line with the side of the cheek. Now straightening out that left arm as you sweep your right arm for the back wall, gaze at the center of your palm, and as you inhale, palm to your heart. Exhale as you sweep that arm back again. Then float your right hand to your left knee. Inhale as you sit tall in your spine. Exhale as you twist. Inhaling again. Exhale as we float to the opposite side. Bring ourselves across now into all fours, knees under the hips, palms under the shoulders. Curl underneath your toes. Push through your palms to send your hips to your heels. A little stretch out through the soles of the feet. Coming back again to all fours, flatten the tops of the feet down. Now lower your belly button, lift your heart and your chin. And then pull the belly button into the spine and draw your chin into your chest, arching the spine. Keep that movement going. Use your breath. Inhale. Exhale as you round and arch. Inhale as you open the collarbone, send the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, round and arch. Coming back to a flat neutral back, curl your toes under. Lift away your knees, engaging the core, and then set the knees back down again. Float your knees up and away, engage the core, setting the knees down. Float and engage. Settle and release. Lift the knees up and away. Now open the knees out wide to the outside edges of the mat. Big toes touch, tops of the feet flat, hips to the heels. Folding forward and down, extended child's pose. Now move forward. Keep the knees wide, send the hips low, lift your heart and your gaze. Send the hips back to the heels. Keep that movement going. 3 more. Chest and chin lifts. Rocking back. Moving forward, inhaling. Exhale as we draw back. Once more. Folding forward and down, forehead to your mat. Now walk your hands across to the left edge of your mat and bring your right palm on top of your left hand. Hold and breathe. Travel across to the opposite side. Left palm on top of your right hand this time. Coming back to the center, stretching out long. Now roll forward, curl underneath your toes, lift the knees, lift your hips, send the heels low. Come back down, knees set wide, rock the hips forward, then rock the hips back to the heels, bowing forward and down. Ripple through the spine, curl the toes, float the knees, lift the hips. Knees wide and dropping to the mat. Big toes touch, rock the hips back. Ripple forward, curl the toes, lift the knees, draw the hips high. Knees wide and low, hips rock back. Hips rock forward, curling the toes, lifting the hips. Hold and breathe, downward facing dog. Space between your ears and your shoulders, draw your heels high, come right onto the tippy toes and lower the heels. Keep that going, heels high. Exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lift the hips high. Exhale as you lower. Inhale as we lift, now roll forward and out through your spine, setting a high plank. Push the earth away as you lift the hips high. Exhale as you lower the heels. Inhale, ripple forward and out. Holding your plank. Exhale, hips high, heels low. Feel that fluid movement through your spine. Bend your knees, send the chest to the knees. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Staying on your fingertips, gaze forward, plant your left palm directly under the shoulder line and rotate your spine and lift the right arm up high. Drop your left knee down to the mat. Lift the left foot up and away, and if you can, take that foot into the hand. If you just need to reach a little further and there's a bit of space in between the hand and the foot, it's all good. Lift that right hand back up again, lift your knee. Floating your hand down to the mat. Set your lengthened foot down flat. Heel on a 45 and line up heel to heel. Windmill your arms up and over, shoulders over the hips, Virabhadrasana 2. Bring your forearm to the top of your thigh, right arm in line with the side of the cheek. Engage your core and send both arms out and up. Reset Virabhadrasana 2, shoulders over the hips. Reversing that warrior on this side. Cartwheeling the arms forward and down. Come back to the ball of your back foot. Push through your palms, stepping back, downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Step your left foot through between your hands. Plant the right palm directly underneath the right shoulder. And open. Gazing upwards at your thumb. Set down your right knee. Feel a beautiful quad stretch. Allow that foot to fall back down. Left arm reaches high. Lift away your knee. Arm floats back down to the mat. Plant the heel of the back foot down flat on a 45-degree angle. Windmill your arms up and over, Virabhadrasana 2. Bent knee over your ankle. Forearm to the thigh. Reach both arms out and away, engage your core. Float back to your warrior 2. This time we'll cartwheel straight forward and down. Come back to the ball of your back foot. Plant your palms, step your left leg back to match your right. Setting your knees back down to the mat, flatten the tops of the feet down. Sweep your left arm up high, inhale, and as you exhale, thread that arm underneath the right, lower down to the side of your cheek. Take your right arm and wrap it around your lower back, and then set your hips to your heels. Reaching that right arm up high, and then float it forward and down, palm flat. Shift back forward to your knees, resetting your tabletop position. Inhale as we sweep the right arm up high, opening the chest. Exhale as we thread underneath. Take that left arm, wrap it across the lower back. Melt into this pose. Left arm reaches high, floating down to the mat, palm flat. Drawing back to all fours. Curl underneath your toes. Float the knees, lift the hips high, send the heels low. Bend your knees. Step your right foot through between your hands. Plant that back foot down flat. Reset your Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten out your bent knee. Inhale. And as you exhale, touch the side wall with your left fingertips before you tilt and lower. Drawing into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Staying long and straight in the spine. Imagine you've placed your body between two panes of glass so you're not rolling forward through your torso. Now let's reverse that Trikonasana. Brief cartwheel through our Virabhadrasana 2. Palms flat, lift to the fingertips. Push back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, step your left foot through between your hands, back foot plants flat. Windmill over, Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten out that bent knee, inhale. As we exhale, tilt and glide forward, lowering all the way down. Coming back up and over, reversing our triangle pose. Bend the front knee, windmill back down. Come to the ball of the back foot, gaze forward, plant your palms, stepping back, downward facing dog. Sitting both knees wide to the mat, tops of the feet flat, big toes together, hips to the heels, bowing forward and down, extended child's pose. Looking forward and out into the distance, coming back to that movement we did right at the beginning of the class. Simple rock forward and back through the hips. Rock forward, chest and chin lifts, hips lower, rocking back. The knees are wide. Lifting our gaze, walk your hands in, cross over your feet. Joining me back in a seated position before we lengthen the legs out long, coming into Dandasana, staff pose. Tall straight spine, straight legs, ankles and knees together before we hug the left knee into the body. Bring the heel in towards the hip and send the toes out on an angle. The arm comes to the inside of the shin and lower yourself forward and down so your right arm is set out from the side of the body. Coming back to a tall spine, your left leg, we wrap over the right. Inhale. Exhale as we twist. Looking past your right shoulder to the back wall. Coming back to the center, now set your ankle above into the outside of your right knee, sitting tall as we inhale, then use the weight of your left leg to draw the inside of the right leg down to the mat as you sweep your gaze in the opposite direction. Drawing back to the center, and we'll repeat this sequence on the opposite side. Hug that right leg into the body, turn the toes out on an angle, draw the arm to the inside, inhale, exhale as we lean forward and down. Draw back to a tall spine. Cross the right leg over the left. Inhale. Exhale as we just not settling any weight into that back arm. Stay engaged and tall in your spine. Coming back to the center. Bend underneath the bottom leg. Sitting tall. Fingertips can be behind your back. And again, we use the weight of that top leg to draw down the underneath leg and sweep your gaze in the opposite direction. Coming back to the center. Finding ourselves again with our ankles crossed or the feet flat one in front of the other. Palms to the knees, and let's draw back to those movements at the beginning of the class. And I invite you to travel through this with your eyes closed. We're going to rock forward in the chest and then rock back. So this is a seated cat-cow. We did this position on all fours. Heart leads forward and then the spine draws back. Chin lifts as we draw forward. Chin draws in as we draw back. Come back to a tall spine. Take those movements, those rotations 3 in a row. Coming back to the center, and then let's move across to the opposite side. Coming back to a tall spine and start that sway from side to side. Checking in and feeling how different your body feels towards the end of the practice. Tall spine, palms face upwards, reset your thumb and your first fingers together. We have our anchored tailbone, we have a lifted crown of the head to the sky. We find peace in our breath. Calmness in our mind. Acknowledge any thoughts and distractions that float into your mind and let them go. And we honor our practice. Bring movements back into your fingertips. Palms set together, center of the chest. First fingertips to your forehead. Inhale, and as we exhale, namaste.